Yeah. So I'm Kelly VanLaanen. I'm a trip leader with Green Adventures, and I will get a little bit more into my background a little bit later in the presentation. There's an actual slide for it. But this is a new destination for Green Adventures, and so I'm really excited to see all of you on here and interested in this potential trip. It is a phenomenal one. I have been asking for us to do Big Island, Hawaii for several years now. It's a place that's near and dear to my heart because it's where I started. I helped create the Becoming an Outdoors Woman program there. So for those of you not who don't know what the Becoming Outdoors Woman program is, it's a program that we work with Green Adventures. Sometimes we host workshops together in partnership with them. And basically, it's a program that teaches outdoor skills to adult women. So it's hosted through UW Stevens Point, and like I said, we work in partnership there. And so I had been going to Big Island and training their new instructors and training their coordinator for several years now, and helping them run their workshops, and just really fell in love with Big Island, with Hawaii in general, but especially Big Island. And so I'm really excited at the potential to bring a group of Green Adventures ladies there because it's a it's just a really magical place. And being in the US, you don't have to have a passport to get there, which is kind of nice. A lot of times with international travel, it can be a bit of an additional stress for people. And so US currency, English speaking, and then no passport needed. So all of those are definitely benefits as well. Um, so with that, I am going to share my screen with you, hopefully. So here's the deal about your trip leader, Kelly, here, is that I can keep you alive during a zombie apocalypse for sure, or in the middle of winter. But technology is something that is not my super big strong point. So I just appreciate everybody hanging in there with me and watching me as I push buttons and try and make everything operate. I'm light years ahead of where I used to be, but it still can be a little bit scary for me. So here we go. All right, can everybody see that? All right, and then are your heads in front? So for me, your heads are in front of my text on this. Okay, I'm gonna scoot everybody off to the side. I'm not sure why that happens, and I'm sure one of you knows how to fix it, but I don't. So that's how we're gonna fix it, right like that. So welcome to the Green Adventures Zoom about the Hawaii snorkeling, hiking, and kayaking eco tour. It is basically Kona based in Hawaii. So in our description, what we said was, do you seek both awe-inspiring experiences and meaningful connections? Then the Green Adventures Hawaii tour is for you. From breathtaking manta night snorkel to the rare green sands beach of, and here's another little tidbit I'm going to say. I can do the Hawaiian words, but I have to do them slowly or they get all jumbled up. So you're going to hear me slow way down when I'm doing the Hawaiian locations, okay? Um, so it's Papakolea. Each day is a chance to immerse yourself in Hawaii's natural wonders. Picture yourself feeling the island's rhythms, snorkeling among vibrant marine life, kayaking across serene waters, swaying your hips in a hula dancing class. So who are we? Well, Green Adventures is an ecotourism company with a mission to inspire people to protect the planet through authentic, affordable, and immersive educational adventures in semi-wild locations that get travelers up close and on a first-name basis with the people, places, and ecosystems that are important in the places that we visit. How do we do that? Well, Green Adventures provides place-based educational content that provides travelers with a sense of place. A sense of place is a human response to a piece of land, local nature, indigenous culture, or a combination of these. A sense of place can be geographical or spiritual, resulting in familiarity, attachment, and love for the characteristics that make the destination unique. In short, we want people to love a place as much as we do. And I can guarantee you that I am in love with Big Island, and I think you will be too. Our activities are hands-on, authentic, progressive, tailored, and safe. We will never resell someone else's tour. Our adventures are created specifically for the audience we're presenting to, and in this case, that's adult women. You can expect to learn a new skill or get better at a skill in a very supportive environment. Where does Green Adventures travel to? Well, this year we're going to Alaska, Florida, Idaho, Yellowstone, Wisconsin, Hawaii, Roatan, Baja, Costa Rica, Galapagos, Iceland, Trinidad and Tobago, Tanzania, Uganda, Vancouver, Canada, Peru, and more to come. A little bit about myself. My name is Kelly VanLaanen, and I have 25 years of environmental education, guiding, and trip leading experience. I'm a graduate of UW-Stevens Point, the College of Natural Resources. I'm a dive master, kayak instructor, foraging instructor, and general wanderer. I lead trips to Costa Rica, Roatan, Honduras, Hawaii, Iceland, Baja, Mexico, Isle Royale, Bayfield, and Trinidad and Tobago. Where are we going? Well, we are going to Big Island, Hawaii, all the way over in the Pacific Ocean. That little green dot. So the Big Island is often referred to as the island of Hawaii or Hawaii Island to distinguish it from the state. So Hawaii is really a group of islands, but Big Island, the reason they say Big Island is because they want it to be distinguished from the rest of Hawaii. It's also, like I said, referred to as Big Island, and a lot of times that's due to the size in relation to the other islands. So what makes Big Island so special? Well, Mauna Kea is the tallest peak in the world. Most people think that the tallest peak in the world is Mount Everest, and that would be true if you were measuring from sea level to peak. But when you measure the entirety of the mountain, which is below sea level in Mauna Kea's instance, both above and below sea level, Mauna Kea wins that award. And Hawaii is the only US state that coffee grows in. And it's because Hawaii's climate and geography has allowed species that can't be found in the continental US to thrive in the islands. It's one of the reasons that Hawaii has such a long history of plantation work, like growing sugarcane, pineapple, macadamia nuts, bananas, sandalwood, and of course, coffee. What else makes Big Island special? Well, one of the biggest things is that Kilauea is the most active volcano in the world. So if you are looking to see lava in an active volcano, Kilauea and Big Island are where you need to go. And I have seen it several times while I was there. Kilauea is the newest volcano in the Hawaiian island chain, which was created as the Pacific tectonic plate shifted northwest over a volcanic hotspot. Kilauea currently emits the most lava of all of the active volcanoes in the world. What else makes Hawaii special is that Hawaii is the world's largest island chain, and it's also the most remote landmass on the planet. While there's 7 inhabited islands, there are another 125 uninhabited islands, for a total of 132 islands. These cover a span of nearly 1,500 miles across the Pacific. Another thing that makes Big Island special is that you can see a lot of different colored sand beaches. So everybody knows that Hawaiian beaches are amazing, but not everybody knows that they're also multicolored. You can find your typical white sand and brownish beaches, but you'll also find black, red, pink, and even green sand. Much of this color variation has to do with the volcanic nature of the islands. Another thing that makes Big Island special is that Hawaii is the only state with 2 official languages. So both English and Hawaiian are the 2 official languages spoken there. It's from a variety of Pacific Rim countries have impacted the island's culture and development, and you can hear other languages spoken there as well. But if you've ever wondered why Hawaiian words can be so long and repetitive and oftentimes very challenging for us to speak, it's because there aren't many letters to choose from. The only ones used are A, E, H, I, K, L, M, N, O, P, U, and W. And here you can see a couple common Hawaiian words. Hawaii also has over 3,000 species of native plants and animals. The island's isolated nature makes them home to an impressive amount of different plants and animals that exist nowhere else on Earth. This also means that many of these species are threatened or endangered, unfortunately. You can find an almost endless amount of tropical plants, and there are no native land predators. Another thing that makes Hawaii, especially Big Island, so special is that Hawaii has almost all of the world's climate zones. This is remarkable. Hawaii is diverse in many ways. Its changing elevations and ecosystems give it the claim of having 10 out of the 14 named climate zones. And I'm talking, this is in the world, 10 of 14. You can lounge on the beach and then go snowboarding in the same day. Let's talk a little bit about this tour. Our adventure takes you beyond the typical tourist path, delved into Hawaii's cultural soul. Experience the island's lush landscapes at the Hawaii Tropical Bioreserve and Garden and Volcano National Park. Walk in the footsteps of ancient Hawaiians as you hike the Pu'uloa petroglyphs and witness the power of nature at Akaka Falls. Meet the island's guardians, such as Auntie Meili, who will share her heritage and teach you the art of laymaking, and learn about sustainable practices with the Hawaiian Legacy Reforestation Initiative. This isn't just a tour, it's a chance to connect with Hawaii on a personal level. Enjoy intimate interactions with local hosts and explore the island's beauty and culture through unique, hands-on experiences. From sipping Kona coffee to crafting your own Hawaiian soaps, each moment is designed to create lasting memories and deepen your connection to this enchanting place. Join us for an extraordinary journey where every experience is a step closer to the heart of Hawaii. You'll recognize one of our participants on tonight's Zoom, Laura, was just there playing the ukulele. Some of the trip highlights are we go on a manta ray night snorkel. And at the end of this, I'm going to have Laura talk a little bit about her experience with her manta night snorkel. And I am going to show you a video now. The video is of a diver's perspective. So we'll have the opportunity to either dive, scuba dive, or snorkel. So it's easier for me, and especially because I was down diving, and this is the video, one of the videos that I took when we were just there. What happens with mantas is they eat on plankton, and plankton comes out at night. So they're most active when the plankton comes out at night. And what they do is the tours put out cannon lights, these big lights, and the plankton is attracted to these lights. And so it comes and swarms the lights. And these big, giant, massive mantas come and eat the plankton, and they are all over the map, all over the place, just circling and whirling and eating this plankton right in front of your faces. I even had one hit me in the head a couple times, which I don't know if this is the video where that happens or not, but you might hear me go, oh. Yes, this is magic. It's manta ray magic. This guy just sat and hovered for us. And as you can see to the left of the screen, you'll see those lights, and they make what's called a campfire in those lights. And the campfire is where the plankton will all come, and you can see the plankton in, well, we can only see a bottom of a manta right now, but you see the little floaty things? There's fish and also plankton floating all over in these. But these are massive, massive animals and gentle filter feeders. And they come and they'll actually brush up against your skin. And I swear they are softer than a baby's bottom. You're not allowed to reach out and touch them in any way or disturb them, but they will come and filter feed all around. Ah, this one might hit me. Yeah, that one hit me. That was a better see. You can see the cannon lights there. It's also a neat opportunity because you get to see other night species. So sometimes you can see octopus, sometimes you can see eels. I'm going to go back 2 slides. If you see the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, that's how the snorkelers will, so you don't have to have a lot of snorkeling experience, and it's not that you're in the total dark, but basically you hang on to a framework that's on top of either a stand-up paddleboard or some sort of floating object. And your cannon light shines downwards. Our cannon lights down at the bottom shine upwards, and it creates this perfect environment for these creatures to come up. The shadow that you're seeing in this picture is a manta. So you can see the size of the manta in comparison to the divers here. Another of the trip highlights is we go to Papakalea Beach, which is also called Green Sand Beach. And it's like an olive green sand that has these golden flecks in them. And it's one of the most famous green sand beaches in the world. It's unique for its emerald colored sand. It's created by olivine crystals. We will take a hike to this beach. It can be, it's a little bit of more of an active hike through some sand dunes. But for those who can't or don't want to do the hike, there are actual 4x4 trucks that drive out to the beach, or out to the actual green sand beach, so that you don't have to hike. There's not a lot of shade during the hike. It's a stunning hike along the beach. So I mean, I highly recommend it for anybody that likes to hike. There aren't a lot of, it's not a big elevation change, but hiking in the sand and hard trail can be sometimes a little bit more challenging for people who are mobility impaired. And we like to accommodate everyone on these trips. Another of the trip highlights is we go on an ocean safari out of Kona coastline while snorkeling with diverse marine life with the possibility to see marine species from sea turtles to pelagic species like dolphins and mantas. And this trip is actually also during whale watching season in Hawaii. There's a couple videos that I'll show from the person who does our ocean safari.
The other day, I was filming these pantropical spotted dolphins as they went by the boat, and this one stopped to pick its head up and then lunged at something. At the time, I couldn't really see what was going on, so I slowed down the video to get a better look. Here, you can see when it lunges, it opens its mouth and actually grabs a fish. It's amazing how fast this species of dolphin is, so I almost missed it entirely. But if you look really closely, there's actually a long fish in its mouth. I think it's a needlefish.
Needlefish are some of dolphins' absolute favorite foods. And here's the second video from them. We have the potential to see mantas during the day. And what that video was explaining was that each manta is unique and you can identify them and you can actually be part of studies where we can say we saw Martha today or we saw Bill the manta today. You can identify them through the spots on their bellies. One of the other trip highlights is that we go to explore the Hawaii Tropical Bioreserve and Garden. And with this, we explore lush gardens filled with vibrant tropical plants, walk through scenic trails with breathtaking views of the Hamakua coast, gain insights into traditional uses of native Hawaiian plants. Another of the trip highlights is that you get to visit a national park, and it's Volcanoes National Park. We start at the visitor center and we take a guided hike with a local biologist. Then we drive to the chain of craters, and then we actually venture through the Thurston lava tube. And hopefully, if Pele blesses us while we're there, we get to see some lava. Pele is the goddess of the volcano. Another of the highlights is a trip to Akaka Falls. And this is just a stunning, beautiful hike. Not super long. It does have some stairs. And we take a short hike to the viewing platform where we view the waterfall and then hike back. But the falls are spectacular, but the hike itself is beautiful as well, where you see lots of different plants and animals. And just some gorgeous views. And then after our hike, we stop for some fresh pineapple. We also do a 3-hour kayaking excursion. And this is an exhilarating adventure from Keauhou Bay to Kuamo'o Bay, with the possibility of wildlife sightings, cliff jumping, and snorkeling at the vibrant coral gardens. On the top right is a picture I took of a trumpet fish there. Their fish and their coral is phenomenal. We also get to go and do a hula dance. How fun is that? So we move to the rhythm of aloha in fun and authentic hula dance session. And remember in the beginning that how we talked about Hawaii is the only state in the US that grows coffee. Well, we get to go to the Kona Coffee plantation and do a private tour. So not only will we do a tour and learn about the process of coffee from growing to picking to harvesting, or from harvesting to actually how they process the beans and how they roast them. And then we get to sip on some Kona coffee. And we do lei making with Auntie Maylee. And she's a pretty famous lei maker on Big Island. So we get to connect with her local history and create our own lei with a Hawaiian elder. Honolulu Valley Hike. So we explore the rugged trails of black sand beaches and majestic sea cliffs in this scenic valley. This valley is stunning. It is just one of the most beautiful places I have ever visited in my life. And we learn about the koa trees and reforestation. So they have had some diseases go through and wipe out some of their trees. And we're going to learn about the sustainable reforestation and the importance of the koa trees within the Hawaiian Legacy Reforestation Initiative. Those trees are just majestic, absolutely immense and majestic. So we also visit the Pu'uloa petroglyphs and go and see the petroglyphs on the rocks there on the volcanic rock. And we wrap up with Lala Nus. So Lala will talk to us about sustainability and climate change and how it affects Hawaii. And we also complete it with a traditional awa ceremony. What are the physical requirements for this trip? Participants must know how to swim, and you should review the itinerary for examples of the activities each day that are specific to this tour, but it is a moderately physical tour. So for example, we have half-day hikes or multi-sport activities with varied intensity. You should be able to, we walk about 5 miles and trails with over 600 stairs, getting in and out of boats and on ladders. Let me tell you about this though. We try to accommodate everyone on these tours. And so if there are parts of this that you feel like might be more challenging to you, or that you might not, it might limit your participation in this tour, just talk to me ahead of time and we can usually accommodate you in a different way. But those are the normal examples of things that we do. So just a regular exercise routine that includes like aerobic activities like walking, biking, or swimming for even just 20 to 40 minutes up to 3 to 4 times a week is more than enough. Where do we stay? So we are 3 nights in a Coda guest house, 3 nights in Naniloa Hotel in Hilo, and 3 stars, or 3 nights, I'm sorry, 4 nights at the Royal Kona. Rooms are double occupancy, and sometimes it depends. Sometimes lodging can change based on availability, but these are the places that we plan on staying. So what's included in this tour? Accommodations for 10 nights with double occupancy. Meals include 10 breakfasts, 7 lunches, and 4 dinners. Activities listed on the itinerary. 24/7 on-site support from me, your trip leader, and then group airport transfer, day 1 and day 11. What's not included is your airfare to Hawaii, and you're going to be arriving at Kona International Airport, which is code KOA. Your travel insurance, and you need emergency medical is required. A gratuity of $350 minimum. Your personal spending money, alcoholic beverages, and some of your beverages, baggage fees, hotel incidentals, and just a few meals. The cost is $6,557 because we're extending our early bird pricing. The deposit for this trip is $750. Oh, how do I sign up for this? You can go to greenadventures.com or you can email Tara@greenadventures.com. When you go onto greenadventures.com, you're going to look under women's trips, and it's our first trip in that area. Or follow the links on any of our social media sites. So with that, I'm going to scooch everybody back over. Hopefully you can see me again. Let's see. All right. And I am going to open it up for questions. So, oh,
Kelly,
yes.
what are the dates of the trip?
So they are February. Let me just pull that up. I have it right here. I should have it right at the top of my head, but it is. I am scheduled February 21st to March 3rd this year. Oh, and I can stop sharing my screen as well, I think. Except for I don't know how to do that. So you're just going to see my screen. So this is a great time for you to ask any and all questions, because I guarantee that I guarantee that someone else is thinking about the question that you might have as well. So please, please, please ask your questions. And for those who aren't on here in person, this gets sent out to them and they might have that question. So please ask any and all questions. And then I'm going to invite Laura, who was with me on Big Island this year. It's always, it's you can get it from my perspective. I'm a Green Adventures employee and I'm gonna tell you it's fantastic, right? But I like to have someone who's participated and gone to these places come onto these Zoom sessions as well, so that it's not just me trying to sell you this. I obviously think it's fantastic, or I wouldn't have decided to have us, go to this place and offer a tour there. But it's really nice for you to hear it from someone who's experienced some of these things. So, how about, does anybody have any questions?
You
I
hear
had
me?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Not sure whether you can hear me.
I can hear you, Carol.
Okay, what is the average temperature? What can we expect?
So it really widely varies in Hawaii. When we are down in Kona, it's going to be very warm. Hilo is warm and humid, but then as we travel higher in elevation, up in Mauna Kea, you can get snow. And so it depends on where we are within the island. I would say in most of the activities that we're doing, it's going to be in the 80s probably, except for at volcanoes. Volcanoes is a little chillier because it's higher up in elevation. Let me think of, and then in some of the higher elevations along the coastlines, it'll be probably higher 70s. But in volcanoes, I've had it where I've needed a down jacket already. And up on Mauna Kea, I've had it where I needed a parka.
Did you send out a clothing list? I don't think I saw that.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So once you sign up for this trip, we will send out all of the information that you need, and it'll be basically similar to our other. Carol, have you been on any of our other trips?
Yes.
Okay, so it'll be similar to some of our other tropical destinations. So clothes that are not not cotton because it's a tropical area and you'll actually, there's cloud forests there and rainforests. And so you want to make sure that you have non-cotton clothes as much as possible so that they can dry quickly and then you don't stay wet for a long time. So you'll have a combination of shorts and tank tops to some longer pants and longer shirts, and then probably even a light to mid-weight jacket. You're gonna want rainwear along with that, and swimsuits.
What did you say boots?
Swimsuits.
Yes,
Probably you're
What
gonna want
about
some sort of a
footwear?
hiking boot.
Hiking boots, okay.
You could probably get away with like a cross trainer or a good hiking shoe. The only thing I caution people with that is with a hiking boot, the reason that I recommend hiking boots is that it usually rides a little higher up on your ankle. And so the ground, the lava in Hawaii can be a little uneven. And so you don't want to have the opportunity to twist your ankle and ruin your entire vacation. And so the higher up that you have of your hiking boot. It doesn't need to be insulated, but just a hiking boot is usually recommended. But if that's not in your budget, it's no problem. You can use a cross trainer or even, your regular walking shoes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Steph, you have a question?
I was going to ask about the climate temperature as well. So you answered it. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's warm. It's warm in Kona. But you have, you're an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So a lot of times you have these really beautiful breezes that blow across the island. And so you'll get some breezes within there that help make it, not feel quite as sweltering hot. But you have to, also remember that you're right in that equatorial sun and along the equator there. And so it's going to be very, very sunny and bright and beautiful weather there. But like I said, there's 10 of 14 different climates there. And so it varies. It varies.
That's right. Thank you.
You bet. Jean?
Do we need to bring our own snorkeling equipment and wetsuits, or can we
Nope.
get?
We
No.
can rent that there. Yep, you can absolutely rent that there.
What's the temperature of the water?
Warm. It's
Warm.
beautiful. Yep,
Oh.
very warm. Let me think.
I like to hear.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think of Laura, do you remember when I think I had a wetsuit on, but I really honestly don't think I would need a wetsuit when well, sometimes when I dive there, I'm diving in pelagic waters, which are real deep and dark. So then I would need a wetsuit, but a lot of times when I'm just swimming, I don't need swimming or snorkeling. I don't. Did you feel
Yes.
cold at all, Laura?
No, not at all. I just had my swimming suit on. The snorkeling, the water was just perfect. They did have us put on a wetsuit when we night snorkeled with the manta ray, but that was only because they want us floating on the top. Otherwise, I wouldn't have worn one because the water was that warm.
Yeah. Yeah, the wetsuit makes you more buoyant. And so it just helps you the only thing you need to do for the manta snorkel is like literally float with your hands on something. You don't have to kick or swim or go anywhere. And so the wetsuit in saltwater, you're already buoyant. So it's easy to stay afloat in that. It's actually quite a challenge to sink in saltwater sometimes, especially women, because we tend to have fat deposits on our chest and on our hips and our keisters. And so that makes us more buoyant already. But then having a wetsuit on as well also makes you more buoyant yet. So it just helps you just stay at the top and just completely relax and take it all in.
Kelly,
Yeah.
on one of the slides, you said emergency medical insurance is required.
Mhm.
What do you mean by that? I mean, is it something?
So
Go ahead.
that's just your trip insurance. And basically all that does is if you were to, this is Vicky, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the same trip insurance that you would have used for our other tours. Yeah, it's just basically if you were to break an ankle or get sick or things like that, that it just makes sure that you have access to doctors, and they are really, it's their profession to, all you do is call them and they help you in all of those things. Whereas I'll be juggling a group and you at the same time. And so it's easier for me to say, let's call your trip insurance and get you the best medical advice and the best medical care that you can get. So that's basically it.
Okay.
And we actually send out, with all of our trips, we'll send out a link and recommendations to that once we confirm the trip and send out information, we'll send you everything you could possibly need for these. Other questions? Oh, I see Jean going for a button.
Jean is trying to unmute, yes. So I've been wondering if the trip is confirmed so far, or are we still
Not
waiting?
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yep, we're still waiting for a couple friends to join us. So if you know of anybody that might even possibly be interested, let us know and we can either send them this recording or send them more information.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So invite your friends, please.
Yeah, right.
Well, Kelly, if you don't mind, I'll just give my little 2
I would
cents.
love that.
So I did have the opportunity to spend 2 weeks on the Big Island back in September, and I explored every inch of that place with a lot of recommendations from Kelly, and she was at my side for about half of the adventure. And I got to see and do almost everything that's on your itinerary. And when I came back, the only word I could use to describe to other people about my experience was stunning. And I've been to quite a few different places around the world. And this one, I cannot stop thinking about this trip and all of the experiences that I got to do. And I did do some things over and above what you guys are going to do, a helicopter ride. But if you were to ask me what was my biggest, most awesome experience, I would say the top one was the snorkeling with the manta ray at night. It was almost an out-of-body experience. And I snorkeled and I hung on and I floated at the top with the other snorkelers out there. And it was something out of a documentary from one of those Earth shows that you see. These manta ray were huge. They were, sometimes I can't even use the words to describe it, but they would do their, we could see them on the bottom, then they were just massive. And then they would do their belly rolls. So up on the surface, they would come up and around and they would float on their bellies and open up their mouths. They were inches away from my mask. When they came around, I could see right down into their throats. You could see how silky smooth they would be if you had a chance to touch them, which we didn't. And I started counting to see how many I would see. I lost count. The video that Kelly showed you is that is the real deal. The other things I got to do, the green beach, the black beach, the sea turtles, the sunsets.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot recommend this island enough. It was, and thank you, Kelly, for giving me that opportunity, and sharing your love of this island with me. I can't say enough. Can't say
Yeah.
enough.
Laura came and helped me at the bow workshop. And so she was up there working her tail off. And so it was only nice of me to show her around the island a little bit. I can't, I just, the culture and the people there as well, it's something. It's a very spiritual place. I'm not saying any sort of religion, just in general, it's a very spiritual place. You're seeing all of these just otherworldly sites. You know, they train for like the Mars landing and astronaut landings in Volcanoes National Park, because it's so desolate and rocky and just it almost, there are times when there are places that you look there and it almost looks like Mars, the pictures that you see from the rover. And then you go to other places where it's just lush and beautiful. It's like oh, what is that movie with the blue people?
Avatar.
Avatar, with all of the plants hanging and these giant trees and just, you know, creatures that seem otherworldly. And then you go to, you know, it's surrounded by water, so every single either sunset or sunrise is phenomenal. It's beautiful. You know, of course I've got it holds a special place, but it is a special place. I wouldn't be saying this if I wasn't confident that you would find it very special too. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? No? Awesome. Well, we are finishing ahead of schedule tonight. I must have just covered it all so well in my PowerPoint presentation. Oh Lord, I can't tell you the amount of stress that technology gives me sometimes. Oh Lordy. Anyways, I hope that you all have an awesome night. I am available for questions. You can hit me up on our social medias, connect with me. I'm tagged in all of the Hawaii posts, and I can answer any questions that you come up with when you're lying in bed tonight and think, oh, I should ask Kelly this. No problem. I'm here to answer any questions that you have. And I hope that for those of you that I don't know, that I get to travel with you. It's always a fun experience. And one of my very favorite parts of being a trip leader is all of the amazing, amazing, awesome women that I get to travel with. It is the best part of this job. Seeing the beautiful vistas is the definite bonus. All of the food and culture that we get to experience, but the people that we travel with are always the very best part of this for me. I just get empowered and inspired by all of you. So I look forward to hopefully traveling with you to Hawaii, and if not Hawaii, maybe one of our other destinations. So with that, I'm going to end our recording and say, actually, I'm going to teach you to say, you say aloha is hello and goodbye. And then I'm also going to teach you to say mahalo. So everybody say mahalo. And mahalo is the word thank you. And so I am going to say mahalo to all of you. And thank you for being part of the presentation. And hopefully I get to see you and teach you some more Hawaiian in the future. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Kelly. Great presentation.
You bet. You bet. Okay, stop recording. There we go.